A little late. I thought I had till 1:30, but that's okay. That's speaker's time, all right? From anyone else. But I wanted to make sure that I did get here today to talk about the governor and his quest to be reelected, which I feel is a necessity. It's very important for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. There's no question about the fact that maybe once in a while the governor and I may disagree on it.
Never happened.
No!
There's no documented example of that.
Well, let me just tell you this. I don't look at it as a problem. I looked at it as something which is good for the Commonwealth. Yes. We as Democrats, whether it was the Senate or the House, or you have no idea the times I disagree with the Senate as well. Those aren't as well documented.
We always disagree with the House.
Well, that's right.
All the family.
Well, let me just say this, okay? We have no finer governor that I've ever served with in 20 years in the state of.
Yeah!
And the only thing I ask you to do, and I mean this sincerely, if you take a look, in the past, since I've been speaker anyway, in the past couple of years in terms of what we have accomplished in the State House, folks, this race isn't even close. You know, the Republicans talk about the fact that Charlie Baker talks about the fact, well, you should have done this, you should have done this, you should have went further. The governor says that they never stepped up to the plate. I say they never even got out of the dugout in terms of what we've done. If you talk about ethics reform, true ethics reform, which hadn't been touched in 3 decades here in Massachusetts, pension reform, transportation reform, education reform, a balanced budget in these difficult fiscal times, which has been praised by all of the bonding agencies who state that Massachusetts economics, financially, has been handled better than most, if not all, states in this country.
Yeah! Good for you.
And finally, let me close that I think we're going to be on the way to greatness in a whole lot better shape than any other state.
All right.
And I can say that because as I speak to speakers from around the country, you know, I see what we're doing here in Massachusetts. And let me tell you something, folks. You know, if you think, you know, we may be having it rough, and we are, and I appreciate that. We are in such a better situation when we gotta get out of this economic recession than I'm going to suggest about any other state in this country. And that's because of the leadership of this man right here.
All right.
So I ask you, this is a very difficult election. I tell you, if you had to pick a time to run for office, this isn't it, folks. Okay? To run for governor in probably the worst economic, not probably, the worst economic recession since the Great Depression is a very, very difficult time. Okay? So he's going to need all of your help. We've got something, I don't know, 3 weeks. You probably know the exact date, time, and everything else.
Give it to you.
We're going to need all the help that, you know, that he can get. And I appreciate all you folks being out here. I just ask that you come out, you know, make sure that you work as hard as you can. The last couple of weeks, it's going to be a close race. Obviously, I think it's a race we're going to win, but we're not going to win unless you folks get out there. And I also ask you to please, we've got another gentleman here, I think, who deserves re-election. Senator Anthony Petrocelli.
Yes.
You know, that goes without saying. But again, this is a little bit different election year. We have to make sure that folks that, you know, we feel are going to be shoo-ins or whatever, we got to make sure that we get out, that we vote, and that we keep that Democratic leadership up at the State House. So the next 4 years, we're going to move even more forward than we are right now. Thank you, and God bless you.